If I had to build the highest end PC I could, well, this is how I would do it. I wouldn't waste my money buying overpriced Asus ROG or Lian Li cases and coolers, and I would actually go with something a little bit less popular. So what you see right here is a Ryzen 9 9950X3D plus RTX 5080 game PC with chart-topping performance and chart-topping thermals thanks to the all-in-one and case choice. So with that said, let's actually see what we have in it. Now, I said I wouldn't buy Asus, but actually the motherboard is an Asus ROG B850 Strix White. And this one is great value because you actually have no reason to buy any other chipset than a very good B850 unless you're running some very unusual productivity setup with a lot of SSDs and maybe multiple GPUs. Here we are also able to run a Gen 5 drive. So we went with the Kingston Renegade G5 1TB Gen drive SSD, which, little spoiler, check out the Crystal Disk Mark score, is very, very fast. We also went with Kingston on the RAM. However, I wanted to try something different and I went with 48GB of 8400 MHz RAM on AM5. So this is very unusual because generally everyone, me included, we recommend you guys buy 6000 MHz, maybe 6400 MHz for AM5 because the memory controller basically tops out the FCLK2 at around that clock if you want to keep it 1-to-1. If you need to go higher, you will have to decouple the FCLK, which generally is going to result in lower performance. However, I recently made a video covering how that wasn't quite the case, and high-speed RAM actually does make sense on AM5. Now, this kit though is a bit special because it's CUDIMM RAM, and it's basically a RAM that supports the newest standard by JEDEC, and basically has a little controller, a clock controller, CKD, which is basically going to allow RAM to run at higher speeds and with more capacity, more stable. However, AM5, being an older platform, doesn't support that. If you're running an Intel platform, this is the best RAM you can buy at the moment. Absolutely. On AM5, it's still probably the best RAM you can buy, but you will get a message saying that we're gonna bypass the clock controller. So basically, if you're paying more for a kit like this, you're wasting your money, but you're still getting a top-end kit. So what I was actually able to do is I was able to set it at 7600 MHz CL38 with very, very tight sub-timings, as shown in my AM5 RAM tuning guide pretty much. And this actually allows us to go faster than with 6000 MHz C30, for example. So this is actually the best we can pair with a 9950X3D. Now, why did I pick the 9950X3D? Is because this is meant to be a high-end PC that is not only for gaming. If you're gaming only, please go out and buy a 9950X3D. It's a better buy. Maybe spend the extra money in a delete kit. Put some liquid metal into it, like I did in my main PC, and you're gonna be plenty fine. But if you also want the productivity, this thing has it. And check out the CPU-Z score because it's really there. Now, we put all of that into what currently is my favorite case on the market, on the high end. And it's not even that high end price-wise, okay? So this is the Arctic Xtender. So most people are gonna say Arctic's first case, but Arctic actually made a case back in the day. So Arctic first case in modern times. And it comes in at a crazy price with crazy features. I'm actually fully recommending this thing, just telling you off the get-go, you can go out and buy it. I think it's the best case you can buy at the moment, if you have the money for it. If you want the vertical mount, then it's called Arctic Xtender VG. Mine is the white version, it's also in black. And the VG comes in at around 190 bucks. You can find it cheaper on Arctic's website sometimes. And the one without the included vertical mount comes in cheaper, around 30 to 40 bucks cheaper, so around 160, 150 bucks, depending on pricing, which is insane. I mean, the case comes with 2 included outtake fans, double 120, I love the design of them. 3 included 140s on the side, which push really hard. These are the new Arctic fans, the P12s and P14s Pros, ARGB, and it has space for a 420mm all-in-one on top, or a 360, like we put here today, but more on the all-in-one in a second, because that's also crazy. So basically, for 30 bucks over the non-vertical mounted one, you also get the included stand, the included riser cable. It's a very fair price, and I would buy the vertical mounted one just for looks, but the non-vertical mounted one is probably even better value for money, because the airflow is the same. It's fully mesh, it has so many cutouts, And we have actually a lot of dust filters. We have one on the back panel that's really cool. You basically have to slide it off to cover where the fans are, and a very big one on the top as well. Plus you have routes on the back for cable management, and lots of routes, more than you need. They're all pre-routed. To mount your PSU, you extract the back of your case, mount it outside and slide it in, so it's actually easier if you have to do some on-the-fly adjustment. You don't have to redo all your cable management. It has an included LED mirror thing here on the side, which looks amazing, and everything is daisy chainable inside. All the fans, I actually daisy chained everything with the GPU as well, and with my all-in-one, so I have no controllers whatsoever in the case, so no SATA cables needed. And all the small cables inside, like the front panel cables, the USB 3.0, they're all white. Build quality is amazing. The double glass is thick, and it's a heavy case, and also a large case, but it is 100% worth it. So I mentioned the all-in-one, and this is something where we splurge a little bit money-wise, okay? This is an expensive all-in-one. It's definitely not the best value all-in-one out there. The best value all-in-one would be the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 Pro ARGB. But this thing is the prettiest looking all-in-one on the market, okay? It has a curved AMOLED screen, which I swear, I saw it on video a lot, but in person it is just so much better. I mean, I'm running an NZXT Kraken Pro, okay? The most expensive all-in-one from NZXT, and this thing destroys it, looks-wise. There's nothing even coming close to how good the screens look in the market. You can also swap it and basically rotate it however you want. It has a pretty cool magnetic, but also just slotting in mounting mechanism for the screen itself. And the software is very well made, very well polished, lots of things you can change, and a lot of cool presets for the animation. You can put, of course, your CPU and GPU temperature on it. What I actually wasn't expecting is just how good performance-wise this cooler is and how quiet it is. So the pump you can't hear. Even at 100%, it is quieter than anyone else. It's also quieter than the Arctic counterpart, but again, we're paying probably triple the money compared to the Arctic one, because this Tryx you can find for around 300 bucks. So it's expensive, but you're paying for the screen mostly. The fans also look really cool, and they are very quiet, and I think they also match the Arctic ones, which is nice. Performance is insane. So we are running a 16-core, 32-threaded Ryzen 9 here, and while maxing it out, I never saw the PC reach 75 degrees. Highest I saw was 73, while being completely inaudible, and without the fans maxing out. So yes, you're paying a lot, but it's worth it, okay? This is the best all-in-one on the market. If you're seeing the trend, I made this build with basically what I thought would be the best components out there. While saving money somewhere, like on the GPU custom model, I bought a Zotac card. These Zotac Solid OCs cards, they are cheap. I can find them for a lot cheaper than premium counterparts like a ROG Strix White or a ROG Astral White cards. So if you want a full white card, this one is cheap and performs the exact same. Guys, don't waste money on your GPU, okay? If you're an enthusiast and you want a high-end model, it's fine, it's not wasting money. But if you want a good value, good performance, just buy whatever and undervolt it and overclock it. It's what we do on the channel. I show you tutorials on how to do it on your CPU, RAM, GPU. You can get free performance out of it. And how much you're gonna be able to undervolt your card is not dependent on the card. So just buy a good-looking, cheap model, you're gonna be plenty fine. Where we also saved a lot of money is on the PSU. So we went with the Enermax Revolution ATX 3.1, 1200 watts, 80 plus gold, fully modular PSU, and then we strapped some sleeved cables, which nowadays are really cheap, like 20 to 40 bucks for SDIY extensions on Amazon. And by doing that, we achieved a good-looking, but also very strong performer computer, because now we also have wattage headroom. You don't need to get a 1200 watts PSU for this configuration, but we have, again, so many cores, a high-end GPU, and we are overclocking everything, so it's good to operate at around 50% of efficiency on average. So this is also going to be able to handle your spikes, and it's also going to protect your system if anything should go wrong. So with all the components covered, you're probably wondering, how does this PC perform? And guys, I'm not even sure I want to spend too much time on this. This thing is insane. We are maxing out any competitive title at 1440p at over 300 Hz. So if you have a 300 Hz 1440p monitor, this thing maxes it out effortlessly on Apex Legends, Warzone, Fortnite, doesn't matter. This is perfect to pair with an OLED high refresh rate 1440p panel. You can also play 4K at 160 Hz, still on a very good OLED panel. Very recently, I reviewed on the channel a dual mode monitor from LC Power, which can do 1080p 320 Hz and 4K 160 Hz. And this is a good match for that because you can max out both resolution. As I was saying, if you build a PC that's not very balanced, you may end up with it performing better at high resolution or better at low resolution, depending if you're spending more on your CPU or on your GPU. But this can do it all. This is a beast in productivity. You can edit in 4K. You can run AI workloads on it. You can run scripts. You can multitask. You can stream. This is the high end without wasting money. If you want to really go overboard, then we're going into the 5090 territory. But really, if you pick the same PC and slot in a 5090, you don't have to change anything else. The PSU is also fine. And this is as high-end as you can get. I didn't put a 5090 into it because I think genuinely very few people actually need a 5090. So this is what I would consider to be the perfect high-end PC in 2025 and the perfect PC to build around Christmas or so. So with that said, as usual, do let me know if you would improve the build in any way. Please, I'm very curious and it's very important for me to have a community with you guys. And also let me know if you tried any of these components, the brand new ones like the CUDIMM RAM from Kingston or the Tryx Panorama SE 360 ARGB or the Arctic Xtender VG white. Drop a comment down below if you watched the video this far, drop a like and subscribe too. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.